What is the message that social media tries to teach us? What do you think? It doesn't matter if you're a business owner, a creator, or just a consumer. I think that for most people, that message is you have to be loud, you have to be present, you have to be different in order to be seen. And I think the truth couldn't be further from that. And I'm going to explain to you why I think that's the case. If you need help with anything, doesn't matter if it's creating a website, getting help for your creative projects, or trying to get somebody to take photos of you for your LinkedIn profile. Who are the people who will attract your attention and eventually be the ones that you trust enough to give them your money and help you with what you're trying to do? In my case, the ones that I trust are never the loudest. They're never the ones who send me 7 emails a day or who will pop up in my LinkedIn feed or in whatever social media feed 7 times a day with a loud message. They're more like somebody I know they're there and I can visit, and I know I can trust them. And I know that they will always act in my best interest. If we look at what's happening on social media, I think that you could get a completely different impression. And that impression is rather, you have to be loud. You have to do something crazy in order to catch people's attention. Well, for some, I'm not saying it's not true for anybody. For some, that might be true, and that might be a way to go down. But if you're somehow a professional offering any kind of service, I recommend you take the different approach, because I think it works a lot better. The people I work together with here in Munich, in my dojo, they are just like that. They have something to say. They know something. They have very specific knowledge of a certain field, whether it's financial advice or they play a special instrument that they use for trainings in companies. I've had all those people here, and many of them are afraid. Many of them are afraid that they need to be loud. They're afraid because they don't want to be the people screaming in anybody else's faces. And what I'm trying to teach them is, don't be afraid to be the calm one. Because I know from myself that the people that I like to work with are the ones where I feel safe, I feel heard, and I feel seen. The ones that I like to work with, they already exist in my head. They have a space somewhere, and I know if I need this, I can go to that person. If I need this, I can go to that person. Of course, in order to get on somebody's radar, it helps to be present on social media. But not everybody has to play the same game, has to be the one shouting at everybody in order to be seen and heard and to be considered as help. And that's the message I wanted to get out with this. Don't be afraid to be the calm one. Because in the end, it comes down to, are you able to explain, are you able to show how and why your work is relevant to me, to what I'm trying to do? This is what I'm working on with people here. How can you convince people that what you're doing is relevant to them? And this doesn't have anything to do with being the loudest in the room. It has to do with your professionalism, being able to show that I can trust you, and some other stuff, but it doesn't have to do with you being the loudest. So please, don't be afraid to be the calm one. I think social media can, in fact, use more calm people like you and I.